What's up, Planeswalkers? This is Mike again with Goblin Town Gaming Center, and it is IXALAN pre-release weekend. I am going to go through my deck just a little bit, highlighting a few cards that I kind of built this around. As you can tell, it is a very low to the ground, very fast deck. So I ended up going 3-1 with this deck, and it went down to the very last game, so it was very close. But after this, I'm going to open up some prize packs, and we'll see what we can get. But this is an excellent one-drop, Priest of the Awakening Sun. And it allows you to sink some mana into it later to go searching for a dinosaur later in the game. Let's see here. Kinjali's Sunwing. This is almost like a Thalia. It makes your opponent's opponent's creatures enter the battlefield tapped. Of course, this was my MVP, Hualti, the Warrior Poet. This won me more than a few games, that's for sure. And then the big beaters would be the Burning Sun's Avatar and the Sun Crown Hunters. Real big, mean dinosaurs. Lots of fun. Had a great time. It was an excellent turnout. I think there was 50 total players in our Sunday pre-release. And I didn't check the final standings, but I think I was in the top 5, maybe top 5 or 6. But without further ado, the reason you clicked on this video, we're going to open up these IXALAN prize packs. All right. Get this good and focused. And here we go. Definitely looking for some of the big cards. I think Carnage Tyrant, the Growing Rights of Itlamok, and pretty much any of the Planeswalkers. I did play in another pre-release on Saturday with my wife. We did a two-headed giant. We did okay. We went 2-2 in that one. But I ended up opening up another of the Hualti Planeswalker, and I also opened up a Jace Planeswalker. So definitely made our money back there. And the decks weren't too bad either. Favorable wins. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Kite Sail Freebooter. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, exile that card until this card leaves the battlefield. Tempest Caller. When Tempest Caller enters the battlefield, tap all creatures target opponent controls. And what do you know? There's Jace. That is a very, very strong pack for blue. So that is awesome. And one of the check cards and a vampire token. Very, very nice. I think Jace is sitting at around $16 right now. A lot of people were saying that Jace was pretty weak at the very beginning, earlier when this set was coming out. But, he's only a 3-drop, and he does some good card draw, and you could just make, a bunch of creatures. Plus, you can throw him in there with an infinite combo and just, really go to town on somebody. But he was a lot of fun to play with when we got him out on the field. Okay. Dinosaur Stampede. This card really did some work for me yesterday. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn, and dinosaurs you control gain trample until end of turn. Now, this card is especially mean in Two-Headed Giant because it says attacking creatures. So that's all attacking creatures, you and your teammate. Plus, any dinosaurs that you control gain the trample. Ixalan's Binding. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. Your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as the exiled card. Deathless Ancient. Flying. Tap 3 untapped vampires you control, and you can return it from the graveyard to your hand. Vraska's Contempt. Exile target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 2 life. I believe this one's sitting right around $3. And Plains and a Treasure. What kind of sick pulls did you guys have for the pre-release? How did you do in your pre-release? So definitely leave a comment down in the comment section below and let me know how it went for you guys. And now that we've gone through a couple of these, we'll just go ahead and head straight to the uncommon so it doesn't get too long on you guys here. Inspiring Cleric. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. A 3-2 for 3. This card did a lot of work for us yesterday in the two-headed giant as well. Imperial Aerosaur. Flying when it enters the battlefield. Another target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. Bishop of the Bloodstained. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life for each vampire you control. And Primal Amulet. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Primal Amulet. Then if there are 4 more charge counters, you may remove those counters and transform it. This is one of the flip lands. And it transforms into Primal Wellspring, where you can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. But when you use that mana to cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get to copy that spell and make choose new targets for that copy. So that is pretty valuable. Let's see here. Lookout Dispersal. Oh, sorry about that. Lookout Dispersal costs 1 less to cast if you control a pirate, and you get to counter target spell unless its controller pays 4 instant speed. Deathless Ancient. And we talked about this one already. Tap 3 untapped vampires to return it from the graveyard to your hand. Flying and Menace. It's a Sky Terror for a red and a white. It is a 2/2. That is a very valuable creature. And a Daring Saboteur. I believe my wife got the promo for this in her pre-release kit today. For 2 and a white, Daring Saboteur cannot be blocked this turn, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So far, we haven't seen any foils. Let's hope the first foil we see is that Carnage Tyrant. I believe it jumped up, and it's right around $50 right now if you can get that one. Pillar of Origins. When it comes into the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, but you can only use it to spend on that creature type. Drover of the Mighty. Gets +2/+2 as long as you control a dinosaur, and it is a mana dork. Lightning Strike. 3 damage to target creature or player for red and a basic. And then the Vanquisher's Banner. This is a staple in any tribal deck, that's for sure. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, and then creatures you control of that type get +1/+1. And when you when you cast a creature of that type, you also get to draw a card. All right, here's our last chance to get that foil. Let's see what we can get. I'm not too upset. I've gotten 4 planeswalkers out of this set, so I'm not too upset. Another Pillar of Origins. Dinosaur Stampede. Lurking Chupacabra. When a creature you control explores, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. And the Shadowed Caravel. When a creature you control explores, put a +1/+1 counter on it, crew it for 2, and it is a 2/2. All right, well that is it. Got some pretty decent rares out of that. But of course, that right there, he is the winner. I don't know if I went over this with you guys, but his +1 is whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, you get to draw a card and discard a card. His -2 is create a 2/2 blue illusion creature token with when this creature becomes a target of spell or ability, sacrifice it. And the -5 is you create 2 copies of Jace. So you're creating a copy and throwing out some more illusions. So, and the artwork on that's just really cool. All right, guys. Well, like I said, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know how your weekend went with the pre-release. And if you liked it, definitely give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.